Hello! Welcome to casting... I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did the hello. It was a character that I was gonna start with, and after the hello, I immediately gave up on. Hello, everybody! Welcome to Casting for Two, episode 15. There we go. Okay, I finished what I started. Yes, you heard right. Episode 15 with your host, Chris. That is me. That is I. I am he who is Chris. Today, I got a good episode for you guys. But first, lootcrate.com. Go over there, sign up, and get yourself some cool swag every month for less than $20. Link is in the description, but that's lootcrate.com. Awesome stuff. Go do it. I'm going to do a little bit of backstory right now. I have Heather Hanson, and she started out by taking pictures of her with a little VW bus that she called the Super Groovy Cosmic Bus. That took on a whole life of its own, and she turned it into an entire brand where she would go and document these awesome Portland musicians. And so now you can go on YouTube, which will be in the link, and just watch all her videos of her documenting these great Portland-based bands. So I was very interested to get her on the show just to talk to her about her love of music, where the bus came from, and just to, find out a little bit more about her. Because as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Portland. I'm a huge fan of Oregon. I love them both. And music just goes hand in hand. So that's what I did, and that's what you can hear. But first, I have to stop talking so you can listen to it. So I'm going to stop talking. So sit back, relax, enjoy this episode all about music. And, so I guess there's nothing left to do but to cue the music. That's right, Chris. You heard me. Cue it. Hello.
Hello. Oh my goodness, my Skype on my phone is going off too. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, still waking up this morning. How are you?
I'm pretty awake.
You awake?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm in San Antonio, so it's almost 2:00, so I'm good.
Oh yeah. Oh, that doesn't mean anything. You could still just be waking up. You never know.
Yeah. Yesterday it was because I usually try to wake up around like 8 or 10, between that time diff.
Yes.
Yesterday I woke up at 1 p.m. and it was the weirdest feeling.
It is weird. It's good. A lot of times I run myself down. It's like, oh yeah, my body really needed that sleep. But
so the podcast, it's just kind of a very loose show where we can just talk about anything we want, really. I just kind of wanted to talk about you for a bit on the Super Groovy Cosmic Bus, what it's about, what you do, and just stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe we can figure out a way to define it more.
Yeah,
it's getting to be an issue.
But what is the idea of it?
Well, the idea is like, okay, the bus, the toy bus is kind of like the common thread. It represents the fact we're all on a journey, we're all ridiculous, and let's use our art to give back when we can. But it's become a promotional tool for promoting just about anything, art, clothing, music, as well as just the mascot for when I go to the shows and take pictures and video of the musicians. And everyone has a bus story, man. I don't know. It's almost like I'm doing some interviews, and I'm going to be going into LA and looking at like how I can expand the project and what direction I want to take it in. And at this time, it's kind of awesome. awesome in free form. It's, I don't know. I think it needs to be some sort of like entertainment company or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, for a while it was like music, and this is it, and this is the theme of, you know, being good to each other. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, I've become the brand. And so it's kind of interesting. I'm finally owning up to that. I didn't want to do that because I thought that would be really egotistical. I've already got a healthy dose of narcissism going on, but that's the reality. Is that I've basically started a brand, and a lot of people pay attention to what I'm doing, whether they want to admit it or not. I do. And I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I go to see my girl Ashley Marie Smith and Helena Resmer and Holly Duffy and raise some hell and stir some shit up in LA and maybe bring back some of the good stuff to Portland.
Right. And how long have you been doing this?
Well, like I started in 2008, but I had a different toy bus, a vintage one, and it was more the documentation of my friends and I hanging out, but music was always involved because I was living in a small, tiny rural town. There's nothing to do. So, you know, we were either at shows or just sitting around playing music because that's what we did. No one was playing music to get a record deal. And ironically, the people whose photos were taken most often with the bus, they didn't even have social media. So, like, they were doing it purely for that moment. They weren't worried about, like, how cool they were going to look on Monday when they would go see their pictures online. It was literally just to goof off at that moment. And I was able to share that with people, like, around the country who actually cared about this little, like, you know, rural town. But that ended, and I came to Portland and needed a way to get to know people because I didn't know anyone. Started going to shows, and, yeah, man, became the icon. I don't know. I got laughed at a lot. I still do. I laugh at myself every day about it, but it's working. So call it a gimmick, call it silly, call it ridiculous, but it's working. It's working really well.
Right on. I'm very fascinated with Portland-based bands.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of them.
Yeah. A lot of them.
And I had Dan Pentenberg from the Autonomics on.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite bands, and he's one of my favorite people.
He's a very nice guy. It was great chatting with him.
Super cool guy.
And the music isn't bad either.
Yeah, love their music. I mean, yeah.
But are there any Portland-based bands that you would recommend checking out?
Oh, man, that's hard because the second I do that, I'm going to miss, like, a bunch of really good ones. Oh, crap. Let's see. A band that people just really have to hear is Tango Alpha Tango. Mm-hmm. They've got a blues bass, but they're so relevant. Everyone's in love with them. They're a beautiful band. They play great music. Yeah. And they have, I don't know, their sound appeals to a lot of people. I know that they've got fans all over the world, just from some of the exposure, I guess, from the bus, because I use social media networks that aren't just followed by people in Portland, so it's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Take Off the Tango, that's one. Wow, I can't believe I'm drawing, like, blanks. Autonomics, of course. A Happy Death, that's, like, rock, surf, melt your face awesomeness. Let's see. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Wooden Indian Burial Ground. Or Run-On Sentence, or both. And Destin Hammond, specifically. He's kind of blows my mind. He's a musician. He's in New Mexico right now, but he's from Portland. Mm-hmm. And he was back here for the summer. And I think I saw him, like, 8 times in 5 months, but 6 of those times were in 2 months.
Wow.
Because I knew he was leaving, and he just, every performance, he brings something that moves you right in your core, man, every single time, whether it's him with the full band or just him by himself with the guitar on stage. And there's also, like, there's a light in his eyes that I don't see a whole lot. That's not like he's like, oh, Mr. Happy Everyone's, like, best friend type person type of light in his eyes. There's just a light in his eyes. And he's just genuinely amazing. And I was kind of gushing about him to another musician who's incredible, especially here in Portland. He plays with every band, Louis Longmire. And I was kind of like, Louis, is it ridiculous if I go to this last show? He's like, what, do you think you're going to seem like a stalker? And it's like, that's just what fans do out there. That's okay. And I said, well, you know, Dustin Hammond is kind of a big deal to me. And Louis had some really great things to say about him. He said, I know what you mean. So I thought that was really cool that this is a musician that other musicians, very established seasoned musicians, also look up to. So Dustin Hammond, Run On Sentence. And I know that he's got another album coming out soon. And I've got some of those new songs on video, some really great versions. And that was kind of a big treat this summer. Just kind of stumbling into his shows and him inviting me to go camp in an orchard for Farm Song and see this amazing show. And I ended up kind of tagging along to Ashland and had to go on the road for a whole 2 days with the band, you know. It was really cool. And I didn't know these guys. It was just because I enjoyed their music 110%, said thank you, and didn't expect to ever hear from many of them again. They ended up, you know, inviting me to these events. And because of a toy bus. I love that.
Right on. So music plays an important part in your life, I would say.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
For me, I've always enjoyed my alone time, very much so, and I guess music, it always goes hand in hand with my alone time generally. I also feel like I'm a very anxious person, kind of wound up, scattered, and music helps with my anxiety. A lot of times, like, I'm feeling panicked and I've got to get out. It's like, just don't let the music fucking stop playing. Whatever you do, keep that music playing. That, also live music. A lot of times I'm actually physically uncomfortable because of the anxiety. And the only time that really goes away is, like, when I'm at a live show, because you still got that human interaction because you're dancing and you're moving and there's that energy and all your senses are stimulated, sight, smell, sound, but you don't have to talk and you don't have to hear anyone's bullshit. And I think I just feel really, really comfortable in that place. So for me, I guess it's like my solace. It's some of my anti-anxiety medicine. And I don't know, I guess I'm a weirdo to a certain degree. I think that musicians and artists in general tend to be a little different, so maybe that's why I just find so much solace in music and the romanticization of things. I don't know. All right, next question. Let's go on. I botched that shit.
No, I kind of feel the same way with movies.
Right. Right.
I mean, I can just, you know, I'm not an anxious person, but it's just movies are just my escape, and you just sit there, you watch them, you enjoy them. So.
Yeah. And music you can share, which is really cool. And movies you can too, for sure. But it's a little easier to get, you know, Joe Schmo to sit still for 2.5 minutes than it is for 2.5 hours.
Right, yeah.
And so that's something that's really cool. And I was actually talking to some musicians about this, about how social media, how it's essential to get your music out there and how it works, and how you can, by doing just a little, you can make your reach expand. But something that people don't think about on how to kind of show their music to other people is, like, when you're just sitting around kicking it, instead of turning on the TV, like, turn on YouTube and show your friends your videos. Show your friends, like, your friends' bands, like the latest music that you like in Portland. Because one, your friends have to sit there and listen to it for at least like 30 seconds because they're there with you. And two, posting links on the internet, it's great, but we're all busy and we're not all going to sit there and click that link. We don't have time. So when you're sitting there with your friend and you're like, hey man, no, you really need to check this out. Well, first of all, they give it a chance. And I've actually turned a lot of my friends on to music just by doing that. And it's a lot of fun. I was sitting here with Duddy Brown from NTNT and his friend, he's also a musician, John Miller, and we were listening to music and talking about music for hours. That's all we did. Like, I was kind of thinking about it. I don't talk about anything but music, I think, basically. I don't know if that's a healthy thing or not, but yeah. My point is, you can share music, and that's awesome. And you should tell your friends about your music and not expect them to just click a link. And people need to get excited about shit and stop being too cool for school.
There you go.
It's like I think it's great when other musicians can drop their ego and have to be like, yeah, I really like this band, man. I'm really stoked, even though they're my peers. We're in the same scene, for lack of a better term. When people can just get genuinely excited about the music and let go. I love seeing that.
I don't think it's that crazy to talk about movies all the time. Music all the time. I talk about movies all the time just because I love movies. But
right.
But I am sort of musical. I mean, I play instruments and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah?
And probably music has been in my life longer than anything.
Okay.
So I do enjoy talking about music. The only thing is that since I'm not in Oregon anymore, I'm not around these cool local bands. Although I'm sure there's cool local bands around here, but Portland seems more of like a smaller, tightly knit group where you know.
And there's just so much. It's like I feel like it's cooking up. I feel like it's heating up. The pot's bubbling. You know, there are a lot of different genres, and I think that a mistake is made sometimes when people think they're addressing all of the Portland music community, and they're not. You've got your indie and your indie rock, you've got your folk and bluegrass, and then your blues and your young blues guys and your older blues guys and funk and just the hip hop. I mean, it's kind of amazing. It blows my mind. There are these like incredible musicians that you would think would know each other in this small town, and they don't. There's so much music. It is overflowing. I think like I said, it's really heating up. I know people come from Nashville to Portland, and I think that this is, Portland's gaining some momentum. And I'm really curious to go to LA and see what people are listening to, because I don't really listen to the radio or anything that's not, I don't know, the music I go see myself. So I'm just curious to see what the wide appeal is, or the mainstream appeal is with music, and then to kind of compare that to Portland, because Portland's kind of cool. It's got its own thing. I think Portland is very okay with just doing Portland, but I know there are other members of the music community who are thinking bigger and beyond that. And I don't know. I love Portland. It's my heart and soul. But of course, the more music, the better. I want to go and try to spread this talent and this crazy good butt shit as far as possible. I don't know. Man. I'm going on about like 2 hours of sleep, maybe. Maybe. Yeah.
No, it's all good. You can sleep after this, or you can sleep during it. Either or.
Yeah.
We'll just be talking, and then I'll just hear a.
There you go. It might be better for the world. We'll see. As long as someone's entertained at the end of the day, then everything's okay.
That's the goal.
That is the goal. Shit. Last night, man.
Yeah. Who was last night's band again?
Okay, last night was Happy Death, and those are one of my favorite bands here in Portland for sure. Not only are they great musicians, cool, beautiful, but they're homies too. But musicians first and foremost. And it was like their first time playing Ron Tom's, which is kind of, the different venues you play in town can kind of say, like, they say something about where you're at, I guess, in your musical career, or where you're at in the eye of the music community. So this is kind of cool to be playing Ron Tom's, and this cat, Thomas Mudrick, he's with a band called Boing opened, and he's kind of brilliant because he basically took the piss out of every kind of music and made fun of every kind of musician, but he played the music really well. So I was like, okay, all right. And I kind of understood it. It wasn't complete comedy, but there were comedic aspects. And again, he had the musical chops to back it up. But he kind of like, his whole thing was taking the piss out of everything. And he kind of did, like, at the end of his set, took the piss out of the Happy Death. Pretty hardcore. But Happy Death can handle it. They're like, fucking cool as shit. They could take it on. And things just continued to get weird and crazy, and lots of instruments were thrown on the ground, or equipment was knocked over. I think Mudrick at the end of this whole show had a box on his head, just like walking around making childish noises. I don't know, like, I think that it was like a big kissing contest, honestly. Mm-hmm. But it's so rock and roll, and they had the musical chops to back it up, and like, I know Happy Death well enough, and Ryan Love, the lead's personality well enough, at least his on-stage persona, to get like that was still part of the performance. But it was kind of tense too. So it was like, seemed like Thomas and Happy Death, you know, they were playful with this. They were just taking the piss out of one another and kind of, I don't know, it was crazy. I'll have to write about it. I've got all of it on video, mm-hmm. including stuff that, you know, maybe people didn't want filmed, but it was what happened. And boing, it's all going public, honey. That's great. You did a really good job at being talented pricks. But good job. I told them that to their face too. I told them that. But it'll be good fun. I mean, if Happy Death doesn't want that video out there, that's cool. But yeah, man, entertaining. Very entertaining. Maybe they're best friends. Maybe it was a huge Andy Kaufman thing that went on. You know, maybe it's just like all a big joke, and I don't know. But
yeah, it was all
staged. It was entertaining as hell. That's all I can say. I know that some people are like, "Whoa, that's like, are you kidding? That was gold, and I got it all on video." And man, like no one's done that to Ron Toms. Mm-hmm. They went in there and were like, "Ron Toms, what?" Psh, just Happy Death all over it.
But you're going on tour, kind of, or?
Yeah, this month I'll be going to California, mm-hmm. LA, to see some friends in the music industry and have some meetings with people. Just again, because the bus has gone from a really cool gimmick that I think has inspired a lot of people to a brand. And that brand has been merged with me because I was the weirdo who picked up the toy bus. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It really made me uncomfortable at first. Like, I really didn't want it to be about me, but then I realized that I'm a narcissist, and hey, why not? Tell me. No, I actually am kind of horrified of being in the spotlight, but we'll roll with it. If people are willing to pay attention to me being an idiot, why the hell not?
There you go.
I don't know, man. My life is absolutely insane every single day, and I don't get to tell people the good stuff. Mm-hmm. The bad stuff. I don't know. It's very wild. I deal with a lot of personalities, artists, egos. We all have egos. That's healthy and everything. But that makes for very interesting things. And I have to keep my ego in check. Make sure I don't get all cocky and act like an a-hole. You know, we're all and busy, but I do. I'm not perfect.
Right.
I get to live in Texas, you know.
What part?
In Katy, Texas. New Katy, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you're in San Antonio, you said?
Yes.
Yes, to Texas. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Rattler. You know about the Rattler?
The Rattler, like the Saints?
The roller coaster?
Oh, like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, is that still going?
I have no idea.
I got stuck on that. And it was
Did you?
Scary. Yeah, I was like 10. I remember that. Good times. Anyways, go Texas.
No, we'll see.
Yeah, I did 10 years in Texas, then got the hell out.
Yeah, well, because I grew up in El Paso when I was younger.
Okay.
And so, you know, all my family is from Texas. And I moved to Oregon in 2000. And right. I lived there until maybe 2012. And okay. I just moved back here to San Antonio. And, yeah, it's not Oregon, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely homesick, and I'd like to go back to Oregon.
Is it still warm there, though? Is it still warm?
Yeah, it's still warm. Let me double. Okay, right now the weather is 82.
Oh, fuck.
The thing that gets me though is the humidity.
Yeah.
It's just horrible, you know. You'll just walk outside, boom, it hits you, you start sweating, and it's like, I just want to go inside and do nothing.
Right. Or you take a shower and you get out of your shower and you start like running around to get ready and you're sweating again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's horrible.
It was pretty early.
Yeah. I used to be able to handle the heat, and then I got too acclimated to the Oregon weather, and then boom.
Yep.
So,
yeah, that's how it goes.
But,
I was in Texas, a little time in California, and then in Oregon. So, yeah, man. The rain here in Oregon, though, that's rough. It's a bit rough to deal with.
I don't mind the rain. Because I love rain.
Yeah. And you get lots of pretty green trees because of that rain. So.
Exactly. Just like that video I posted of just, the camera in front of a car driving and you see all this green, and I just got, that took me back.
Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering why you said that made you homesick. Yeah, man. I love that. That's where I go get a little dose of sand dunes from the trees. Mm-hmm. Is that people, we all have so much energy, and the city has so much energy, and music, there's so much energy, and it's good stuff, but sometimes I just gotta go sit next to a river and, like, literally put my hands on the ground, butt on the ground, and just ground myself, and then go rock the shit out of life even more.
There you go.
I have a house in the country, but I probably won't be keeping it for much longer, so I'm just kind of actually having a daydream about being next to the river right now.
There you go.
Yeah, oh man. I think I'm going to be a city dweller full time now, for sure. Because I've only been, like, staying in my own room for, like, 2 months before this. I was going back and forth every week and trying to find a place to stay, like, every 2 nights. That was insane. So, commuting over an hour away from Portland and going to shows like 5 and 6 nights a week. So, like, I don't even know how I did it. How I sustained.
Where were you living?
This little tiny town, we'll just call it a little tiny town, towards the coast. 2,000 people, rural, nothing goes on out there. But that's why I picked up a toy bus and started taking pictures, because I had to make my own fun. That's just, okay. I always rail against TV. Like, turn off the fucking TVs. It's poison. People are like, Heather bitching about government propaganda. Well, yeah. But also, maybe the reason people think I'm really weird, or like, where do I come up with these ideas? I don't watch TV. I don't listen to crap radio. I don't have any freaking commercials coming at me. I think, like, if we didn't have all that crap coming at us, what would come out of our minds? Like, that would. Because all that stuff kind of homogenizes us and our thoughts and our humor and everything. So if we all just turned off our freaking TVs, what would that do? Yeah, I didn't have a TV, wasn't drinking, I think I had a car, but not a whole lot else to do. That and friends and a point-and-shoot camera and a vintage toy bus, man.
And you've created this cool empire.
What do I call it? People are like, so what is it? Because, I'm very much about supporting, Banana Spoon Media. I go to their live album recordings. I go and I support, like Soundscape Entertainment. I'm not, like, affiliated with any one brand or business or company. I go and I kind of support all of them and document it. But then I've kind of got my own thing going on and developing, so I don't know what to call it. I think it should be like just the super groovy cosmic bus of entertainment awesome. I don't know.
Super groovy cosmic bus entertainment awesome would be funny.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't help people out at all. They'll have no idea what's going on. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But the second I call it like a production, like super groovy cosmic like productions or like entertainment, I don't even know what that will do, what people will expect from that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna start calling it that right now.
There you go. It's settled.
That's what it is. Super groovy cosmic bus entertainment. Bam.
There you go. I'm glad I could hear it first.
That's right. Came up with that right here. right now.
For the people at home who want to check out this this entertainment,
Yes.
where can they go and do that?
They can go to their Google machine and type in SGC bus, all one word, and that should pop up like the first 10 pages of Google with Twitter and Facebook and feed.com with a PH. It's a newer social media network that has given me great contacts and helped me reach a lot of people in different countries as well. And then, of course, on YouTube, it's the Super Groovy Cosmic Bus, SGC Bus. And I've made sure to shove it down the world's throat as much as possible. So something should definitely pop up.
Right on. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
Oh, God. Let me see. There's a lot. I don't know, man. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of movers and shakers here in Portland. And people say, like, what's my big plan? And, yeah, I do want to do a lot of different things. But this is all I got, really. It's so cheesy. Ride the good bus. To get as many people as possible to ride the good bus. Like, to do the right thing. And to immerse myself in art. Yeah. So that was super cheesy. Like, let's be nice and be friends and do art. That's what the bus is all about.
That's going on a shirt.
Right? If only you could do it, like, yeah, have an audio shirt so you could have my voice in that tone on there.
Well, unfortunately, we're coming towards the end. And I'll let you go to sleep.
Thank you.
Unless you're too wired right now.
I'm a little wired. I'll be wired for about 30 more minutes, and then the reality of what just happened and the stupid things I said will all set in, and I will probably literally hide under the covers and try not to sob myself to sleep and hopefully pass out.
There we go. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, man.
But I've enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you.
Well, I gotta have you back when all newer bands come up, or after your California trip, something like that. We'll chat again.
Maybe when I'm in California, I'm gonna be with some people that are a lot more interesting than me and more relevant in the music industry, like not just Portland, like music industry. So that. Oh, fuck yes. Just got that added to our things to do. So, Helena Rester and Ashley Marie Smith and Holly Dawson, you want to talk to these chicks. Just me.
Yeah, if you have anybody you want me to talk to as well. I interview everyone, so yeah.
Right on. This is good. This is good. Thanks for humoring me and yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I was very fascinated with the concept of the bus, and I knew I had to talk to you, so thank you for coming on.
Right. I hope I can articulate it better one of these days. But from California, we'll talk.
There you go. Sounds good. But you have a good day, okay?
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, just a quick reminder, you can always catch up with these episodes on castingfor2.com. You can also follow me at Twitter @castingfor2 or send me an email at castingfor2@gmail.com.